Continuing in the 6th chapter of the Gospel according to Luke, we hear Jesus giving further testament to those that would, yesterday we heard, blessed are those who are tormented for my sake, for my name. And this is a continuation of that teaching right here today about forgiveness, about loving those who hate us in some ways. And that's a very interesting thing. A lot to preach on here. I could preach for days on this. But what I really want to cover here is this: for you will be measured, for the measure with which you measure will be in turn measured out to you. You see, that's a great imagery for our gospel reading today, because back then in that time, the way they sold things, they would give you a measure of something, and so they would have a certain weight to which they would measure, and they would put whatever they were selling in a scale, balanced scale, and it would have to equal the same, and that's what they would do. And a lot of times they would cheat on it. So they would put a measure that didn't weigh as much or something like that, and they would just weigh it out, and it would look like it was the measure, but it might be hollow inside or something like that. And so what Jesus is saying is, be generous with mercy, be generous with forgiveness, because God is generous with us, forgiveness. Being a newly ordained deacon, I really like to seek the help and counsel of those that have been ordained for a while. That's really something that I really try to strive to do. I was talking to one of my permanent deacon friends the other day, and he's really, his ministry really centers around prison ministry. And he said, going into prison ministry, you have to have a certain disposition. A disposition like the Beatitudes we heard the other day. But a disposition of saying, the person behind the bars and the person on the other side of the bars is the same person, in a sense. It's just one got caught and one didn't get caught. You see, we are all sinners in our own ways. We've all done things to hurt people, and we've all been hurt. So if we don't forgive those who forgive us, if we don't forgive those who have hurt us, then we can't be forgiven by our Heavenly Father, in a sense. And that's what Jesus is saying today. He's calling his disciples to live more like him. Live more like him, who will, in a few short chapters, say, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Forgiving those who even decided to crucify him on the cross because of their intense hatred for him. Can we live like those people? Can we live like Christ, who will forgive even those who will kill him? How much more is it to forgive those that are corporeal, forgive those that are on earth, and ask forgiveness for those who are not corporeal, who are God? Is it better to offend God or to offend man? Which one is worse? The worst is to offend God. So if God can forgive us our transgressions towards him, how much more should be able to forgive those who transgress towards us? And so today, let us have the courage to forgive others. Because when we forgive others, we have a sense of freedom. It's not something that we neglect or decide, but it's something that gives us more. It gives us more of that divinity, that divine life.